I would suggest that you replace the need for a change in experience with conviction, a deeper conviction in your true self. And the way that usually translates into the human mind is all is well, or I am perfect, or things are happening exactly as they need to happen. Or I am free even if I don't have a feeling of freedom. To have faith in God. We always want to see God. We always want to feel God. We always want to have an experience of God. But that keeps us seeking, often in unproductive ways, especially if you have a lot of ideas already. And then we try to avoid certain experiences, and we try to create other experiences in different ways. Whereas if we accept our experience as it is, and we just deepen our faith, our conviction that we don't need this to change, because we up our faith about the perfection of it as it is. Do you see that difference? One keeps you bound to the seeking between your ideas, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. The other settles the whole thing, calms it down.
It's more formless.
It's more formless, beautiful. And it's almost like one way to describe it is it comes more from the background. Like you're trusting more in the background. And you're making less of a fuss. You're having less of an opinion. Less of your own ideas about what's appearing in the foreground. You just have faith in the background so that what appears in the foreground, including your own ideas, can move through with less and less problem and grasping and seeking and identification because of the faith.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I would suggest that for everyone, and I would suggest that for you also specifically, because of having many ideas about it already that keep you struggling between intense experiences.
Have you many ideas about?
Well, you shared that you have many ideas about this.
About the higher self, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the ideas are not going to get you very far into what you actually want. Whereas, if you deepen your faith, your conviction, what happens to your experience? What happens to the foreground of all the sensations and the thoughts when you just take a deep breath and you choose to deepen your faith, your conviction in freedom, in God, in oneness, in the perfection of all that is, in that the true self is somehow already here? What happens to your sensory experience?
I think it will reflect that conviction.
Yeah, so, and how would you describe that? What do you notice, for example, in your body? When you're struggling to seek between ideas versus when you're letting them be and you choose to have faith in the background, the source of it all. Without trying to know it, without trying to get there, without trying to experience it. Just the conviction that it's there. What happens to the stuff in your experiential field? What do you notice? What subtle shift?
Relaxation.
There you go. And when you're relaxed, does not more of your home frequency naturally shine through?
Yeah.
And are you then not naturally living your calling by being more of it? By being more allowing of it?
Yeah.
You see, your calling is not something that you do. It's what you already are. The more you collapse around the objects in your field of vision, the more you grasp, the more you try to change your experience, the less receptive, the less of a channel, the less receptive you're going to be to that innate love and light of the Creator. That will come through. You don't need to know your calling. You don't even need to know your calling in order to be your calling, to live your calling.